I'm excited. I am elated. I'm hyped that you decided to show up. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you for being here and welcome. If this is your 400th time, 30th time, second time, welcome back. I'm so glad that you are here. You know, two words that are prominent for me in this new season. Together, they are a theme for me and what I aspire to attain and what I hope to give off and what I really want to experience. So these two words, they came to me during a very challenging time for me. I feel like I was very exhausted. I was just drained. And mentally, I was like, okay, deep breaths, deep breaths. Okay, you got this, right? And I'm taking my time getting to my two words because I know you want to know what they are. But I'm going to make you wait just a bit. And I couldn't believe that I was able to download these words. They're very simple. I think one word is more popular than the other. But together, I think that they are powerful as a theme. Okay, I won't make you wait any longer. The words are ease and increase. Ease and increase are two of my words this time around. And I really like to think of them as a theme, like ease, ampersand, increase. And ease because I really need to learn how to relax. I also need to practice being patient, taking my time, and being precise. That is all of what I think of when I think about the word ease. And there's also like this effortlessness, right? That naturally comes with that. But I feel like in order to be effortless, you have to be relaxed. You have to be at peace. I think I've often have been in such a hurry that I've found ways to rush effortlessness. And that sounds so crazy coming out of my mouth as I form these words, but it's so real, right? Effortlessness is supposed to be what? Effortless. But it is easy, or it has been easy for me at times, but not even that easy, honestly, challenging, right? Being effortlessness because there was no ease. Even things that aren't hard for me, things that should be effortless have become or had been difficult for me to execute or experience just because I was not at ease. I wasn't in a peaceful pace or space, excuse me. I feel like my pace was so fast. Everything was moving. And I even have experienced that during this pandemic, right? Just trying to make sure that I was on top of my P's and Q's and dot my T's and Lydia. Dotting my T's, really? Look, hello, somebody. Slow down, huh? Crossing my T's and dotting my I's, okay? So, ease is really important for me in this season. Es muy importante for me to experience ease. And see, I don't want anyone to confuse, and I've had to write this down for myself as well, right? Ease is not to be confused with easiness. I think that there is, what am I reaching for, y'all? What am I reaching for? Help me out, help me out, help me out. You're probably like, I cannot help you out because I'm tuning in. That's fine. And I'm on the center stage by myself. But I think because the words, right, are derivative of one another, or I can't think of like the actual literary terminology, but they're often confused, right? Because if something is easy, then there should be some kind of ease. I've experienced things that have been so easy, but it has been a complete mess or extremely difficult to navigate because it came too easy, right? I think sometimes we think about easy people, right? And the experience after the initial encounter or the experiences after initial encounters happen people realize, oh, that wasn't as easy as I thought. Okay, you shouldn't took the easy way out, right? You think about it that way, it's like, oh, yeah, it wasn't so easy after all. But look, I'm saying all this to say that I have to keep that at the front of my mind as I pursue experiencing the benefits of living out this theme in my life, right? Ease is so important because I want to be at a state in my life where things come to me naturally, right? Everything is energy. And I think that's why ease is so important to me, right? At this point, some things shouldn't be as difficult, but it requires a different mindset, which I also believe requires behavioral changes, right? Yes, wellness is super important, but it's hard to maintain any element of wellness when you aren't willing to change your behavior, right? You lose 5 pounds, but you can't keep the 5 pounds off because your caloric intake is higher than what you're burning. Or you've decided that, you don't need to keep up your routine, drinking your water or walking, being active, any of those things, right? So, yes, wellness is important. Of course, the Get My Life tour is somewhere where I promote wellness. The guests who take center stage promote wellness, but behavioral change is so important. That is the goal, right? In order to experience ease and to be able to operate in ease, I have to change not only my mind, but my habits and the way that I do life. Okay, so let's talk a bit about increase. Increase is so sexy. Oh my gosh. Everyone likes talking about increase. Increase sounds so much like abundance, or at least like a cousin that's not far removed, right? But I'm talking about increase like on a different level. And I don't even know if I have a proper definition or can fully even explain what it is that I am setting out to experience, because I don't think there's anything that I'm trying to attain when I say the word increase. Yes, there are things that I can naturally think of, like, yes, more money would be nice. But I want an increase of love, right? I want that kind of abundance. I want an increase of self love and love all around me. I want an increase of healthy relationships, and I just want more, plain and simple. I want more of what is for me. But back to that ease, right? I have to be ready, willing, open, available, and relaxed, at least I believe, in order to experience the increase. On a previous stop of the tour, I talked about passing through. I believe that was the title of that episode. And I really touched on the importance of being present. I now have this understanding that it is almost impossible to experience increase when you are not present. And then it is also challenging to appreciate increase when you are not present, when you are not relaxed. Have you ever given someone a gift and they can't appreciate, or they couldn't appreciate what it was that you were adding to their life? And maybe it was because of something that was on their mind, or where they were at in life, or they just weren't being present as you were gifting them. I've had that experience. I also feel like I've had that experience spiritually, where I've been blessed and have not been able to be aware of the blessing, aware of the gift, aware of the increase, because I wasn't present, right? I wasn't at ease in my spirit, in my body, in my mind. So tense, right? It's like we're struggling with spiritual rigor mortis, and we can't experience anything else because we're not at ease, right? And I like to think of every day as increase. We get another opportunity to breathe, to see, to feel, to be. And I don't know about you, okay? but life is real. I'm not talking about 2020, the first few weeks of 2021. We know it's a lot going on out here in these streets, politically, personally, professionally, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. I get it. But it is up to us every day to make a choice about how we want to experience life, how we want to show up despite our circumstances, and what it is that we want to attract to ourselves. I am focused on increase and ease and increase. And I thought, it would be really helpful to share that. And of course, say all these things out loud, right? Because as much as this is for you all, it is for me as well. And I really do hope that this has, resonated in some way, shape, or form as you continue to journey, no matter where you are. I hope that you experience ease and increase. And if this is something that you take with you, you know what I'm saying? When you tune out and go about your day, handle your business, live your life, I hope that it just ease and increase everywhere you at. Ease. Oh, that was, okay. That, I want you to have those kind of moments, okay? And was that for me? Oh, that's for me, okay? Whether it's a piece of information, whether if it is monetarily, if a conversation went a different way than you thought, right? You were able to receive affirmation instead of shrugging it off or being too shy or timid or hard-hearted. Ease and increase is what I hope that you continue to experience. I just do. Like, look, I want that for everybody, and it is something that I am hopeful for. And it is honestly something that I'm really putting into practice, like I said, as a theme, as one of the themes. Beyond my Lydia philosophy, I want to share some ways, and I hope that they are helpful as you learn how to relax, or you practice relaxation, or you share with someone who needs to relax, okay? And, these aren't anything new. There's no new idea under the sun, and I'm not anyone's therapist, but I wanted to look up a few ways to do this. One of the ways that I've been able to relax is by walking. Now, I know some people are not about going outside. I say stay masked up, okay? Get you some sanitizer, socially distance yourself from others, find a walking buddy, get active, right? Free yourself. I have this really old Fitbit Flex 2. And I love it because I have it in a Tory Burch bracelet or whatever. It looks really cute. Look, this is not free promotion for any of those companies. But what I'm saying is that this bracelet and me being able to move every day, number one, I'm grateful for the activity of my limbs. Number two, I'm also extremely grateful that while I'm here on the West Coast, there's more space for me to move around freely and practice remaining safe so that I can clear my mind. Okay, it's hard to be at ease when you feel like you're in captivity in your mind or even in your body. Okay, break free of being stagnant by actually being active. I really think it can be helpful to someone who hasn't moved around as much. Just get active, walk 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20. Number one, is good for your heart health. Black women are at higher risk of dying from heart disease than any other disease known to man. Okay. And a lot of that is stress induced. It may be what you're eating or whatever, what I'm saying, the case is. And the only reason why I know this is because I've actually spoken to doctors and have done a lot of research journalistically. And this is why I'm sharing. I am not a doctor. Okay. Look, but I thought it would be helpful to share. I would also say practice healthy sleep habits. I don't know if you're getting enough sleep. At one point, I was not. And now I'm just like, oh my gosh, it feels so good to get those 8 hours. So many people think that it's admirable to burn out. It's not. It's raggedy. Stop it. You're not going to get an award, a plaque. Maybe the closest things you'll get is a headstone or a tombstone, depending on where you're from. You know what I'm saying? It's not that it's not high because, you know what I'm saying? If it's your time, it's your time. But at the same time, like, just take time to rest, okay? Relax, slow down, go to sleep. That's why your body shuts down, because it needs rest, because you have to go to sleep. Sleeping is natural, okay? So I say go to sleep, go for a walk. And if this is your thing, because I know it's really hard to quiet the mind, find ways to meditate. Maybe that means doing breath work. On the first season, I spoke with Jasmine Marie, who is the founder of Black Girls Breathing. There are so many different professionals out there who are creating these spaces for people to do breath work with them. So maybe that's something that you invest your time in, right? Time to be still. Maybe it looks like journaling, right? Doing things for yourself. And I'm not going to give you time increments. I really think that these things are practices that you can implement into your everyday life. Maybe a minute at a time, 5 minutes at a time, something. There's this really dope terminology that I really appreciate from an organization, and they talk about micro steps. I think that is so dope. And Ariana Huffington, creator of the Huffington Post, Thrive, and I believe it is defined as like those daily actions that are too small to fail at. That is something that I'm taking with me, and I hope it's something that you can take with you so that you can really experience that behavioral change. You know what I'm saying? The other thing that I would add to this list is to be kind to yourself. I feel like that is always on my list. And here's why. It's because I have to say it out loud as a reminder. It is something that I am often reminded of by loved ones. And it's true. I am so hard on myself. And as I practice what I am saying to you, because I ain't preaching, okay? I really, really want you to be kind to yourself. Join me in being kind to ourselves, okay? Because it is hard to expect for others to extend kindness to you and be able to appreciate that when you're not practicing being kind to yourself. That's why there's a lot of mean people out here in these streets, okay? And we can't square up with everybody. Remember that. Okay. So here's my final point. I struggle with this one. I have to take a deep breath, y'all, because look, okay? Patience. You've probably heard time and time again, like I have, all great things take time. But then I'd be like, how much time do I have? Oh my gosh, I don't have no more time left. Oh my gosh, I already waited. What do you mean? I thought I did a good job while I was waiting because I know how you wait matters. Yet and still, patience is a virtue. And learning how to be patient will and often does determine what it is and how we receive what is for us. See, ease and increase do not come easy, but I believe that it is worth it. It is worth every action. It is worth everything that is going to come our way. It is worth even the challenging times. My gosh, I'm not one of those people who says, oh, I'm so glad that X and Y happened, because look, I'm not appreciative of those challenging moments per se in full transparency. Like, oh, I'm so glad that happened to me so that I can learn. No. I'd rather just have learned than the thing actually happened to me. But I know now that in order to experience ease and increase, there has to be some kind of sacrifice, right? There has to be some kind of behavioral change. There has to be some waiting, some kindness, some relaxation, some deep breaths. and some things that I hadn't done or had been open to in order to experience those two things and experience life more fully, honestly. Ease and increase are the theme, but the things that I want to experience are going to come about as a result of being able to practice being at ease and being open to increase, right? I think I mentioned him on a previous stop in this season, but someone said, if you want something real, you got to do something real. Okay? Let me tell you something. That spoke to me. I was like, you know what? I'm really out here being who it is that I say I am, but I don't think I'm operating fully as who I am. And now I have that information. If you want something real, you got to do something real. I need to do a few things, okay? And practicing being at ease so that I can experience increase is that real thing. I don't know what yours is, but you got to do something real if you want to experience something real. Okay, so I've been thinking about my mic drop moment, and what I want to leave you with is that you have to be willing to be at ease in order to receive what it is that you say your heart desires. Oftentimes, it is easy to just go for yours and go hard. Work smart, be the best, and have this notion that whatever that thing you were working so hard for, meritocracy, right, belongs to you. But I want to leave you with, you have to be at ease in order to fully receive the increase. Look, I hope you got what was meant for you. I want you to experience ease and increase in everything that your Creator has in store for you, okay? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening with your hearts. Until the next time, I will see you right back here. Peace.